priests in the Old Testament, you'll discover that what they would do, they were the only ones allowed to handle the things related to the tabernacle and the temple. They handled the sacrifices, which were all types of Christ. They were the only ones allowed to go into the tabernacle. And only one person, the high priest, could go into the Holy of Holies once a year to commune with God, to be in the presence of God. And so from this, we see what a priest is. You know, a lot of people, when they think of this word priest, they just think of the outward things from the Old Testament. Someone who has a long robe on, someone who has an incense censer full of incense, someone who's lighting the lampstand, and things like that. Those are all outward things. We need to see intrinsically what a priest is. A priest is someone who goes into the Holy of Holies, who spends time in the presence of God to get saturated and permeated with God. You know, when Moses spent time in the presence of God on Mount Sinai, he was there getting saturated and permeated with God. When he came down from that mountain, you know, his face was shining, his face was glowing. They had to put a veil over his face because they couldn't take it. It was too bright. He got infused with God. Whenever you spend time in the presence of God, you get infused with God. And then you can bring that God to others.
That's right.
Right? There's traffic here. There's going to God, and then there's going to people with God. I like this in the definition. Not only getting filled, saturated, permeated with God, but also having God flow out of us, right? To express God and to minister God into people. You just consider, look around. Your classmates, your friends, a lot of your relatives and people like this, your coworkers, they're far away from God. How are they ever going to reach God? How are they ever going to find God? A priest has to come, right? Someone who's been spending time in the presence of God would come to them and speak to them. And that's God being dispensed into that person. What a priest does is he eliminates the distance. Your friend might be far away from God, but when you come and you speak Christ to this person, the distance is eliminated. Praise the Lord.